What's up, everyone? Good morning. My name is Hector Lopez, aka Mr. Positive. I'm gonna do something very, very different, very new. I want to just create a habit of introducing you and giving you guys like an open mind and an open forum for whatever message you're about to hear. I don't know what I'm about to say, but I know what I'm about to target. So the importance of my message will be delivered if you're open-minded to it. So I just want to start off with this simple prayer that I speak to myself on a daily basis, and I highly suggest you pick it up yourself and start doing it yourself so that you can be able to start actually implementing it into your life so that you can accept whatever society gives you, whatever the world gives you. And it goes like this: in the holy name of Jesus, or whoever it is that you worship, I break and dissolve any and all curses, hex, spells, snares, traps, lies, obstacles, deceptions, diversions, spiritual influences, evil wishes, evil desires, hereditary seals, known and unknown. Amen. Before you go out of your house, before you go out and receive any message that society, life, whatever they have to give you, you got to make sure you be open-minded before you walk out that door. Because whatever happens outside that door, you need to make sure that you break down all barriers, all personal beliefs, all personal past, all negative things that you have to say about yourself or anybody else. Because in order for you to actually receive any messages, you have to be able to break that barrier, okay? And it starts with that prayer. So why am I here live? Because you know what? A lot of times we walk around, I myself guilty, that we think that we have to be perfect in society. We feel like we have to, meet up to people's standards. We have to be accepted. We feel like we have to be appreciated, acknowledged for all these things that we don't know what their personal beliefs are, right? We're trying to reach out for something that probably isn't there. Me, myself, I grew up in a way that I was always misunderstood. I was very low tone speaking. When I spoke, I was very low tone. It's like I wasn't clear with my message. I wasn't confident in my message. I didn't know. Sometimes people used to test me and be like, "Do you know what you're talking about? Or you're late at learning this, or you've never done that. Well, what are you talking about?" And I get it, but it doesn't discredit me who I am. God made me this way so that I can be able to deliver whatever message He asks me to, whatever He wants me to. You understand what I'm saying? So some of you right now are probably questioning yourself, like, why do I have to be so perfect to society? You're not. You can't be perfect. You know why? Because you're living in an imperfect world. I don't even want to go into what went on yesterday, but the point of the matter is, you can't control the outcome of other people's thoughts, ideas. You got to be able to control what you believe in, what you want. I know what I want. I know what I can control. And that's my focus. I think that we need to actually take a piece of paper and actually write down what are our true strengths. I love listening. I love talking. I love expressing myself. I love motivating people. I love empowering people. You know what? And not everybody receives it the same way. And I've noticed that. I've noticed that so many people do not receive my message the exact same way. And you know what? That's okay. Because just like the presidential debate, 51% of you will like me, 49% of you won't. And that's okay. That's just society, guys. That's just the way it works. If everyone liked you, that means that you're living in a perfect world, which it ain't gonna happen. They may like you when you're in a circle, but when you step out of that circle, nobody's gonna like you. But you gotta be able to know who you are. You need to actually respect who you are. Value your perfection. We all have a perfection, right? That perfection is your strength. Whatever you are, whatever you're good at, whatever you're great at, whatever you've overcome, whatever you've accomplished, whatever you're doing right now that has so much value that you don't even know it has value yet. But I'm promising you that you have more value than you actually think. You need to actually express that. No matter if society agrees with you or not. You have to stay true to yourself and knowing that where you're going is the right path. Listen, I'm always battling. I'm always facing adversities. I mean, like I have a business of my own that is always going up and down. I'm not always successful. You know what? I think I failed way more than I've succeeded. And I'm still failing till today. But what I know is that I need to change. I can't expect other people to change. I need to change my personal actions so that I can succeed in my life. Because at the end of the day, I got to wake up to myself. I have to look at myself in the mirror every single day knowing that if I don't do what I need to do, I will never achieve what I want to achieve. And that's a problem with us. I think too many of you walk out of your house expecting to succeed for somebody else instead of actually succeeding for yourself. Listen, guys, you're not perfect. You're just different. But you need to accept that. You need to accept the actual reality that you are an amazing individual. That you are capable of way more than you're actually doing right now. Like today is like one of those days for me that I'm going to go all in. Like I have a plan in place that, you know what? If it's going to work, I don't know. I don't know how many people I'm going to I'm going to touch. I don't know how many people I'm going to inspire. I just know that as long as I deliver my message of empowerment, healing, and building, I'm excited. That is my mission. My core mission is to heal people's spirits while building their body. That is my goal. Like, why don't you find your goal? What are you great at? What are you so amazing at that you can just do it with your eyes closed, with your heart in your hands, in your sleeves, in your shoulders, in your head, whatever. Like, what is that one thing that you're so, like, is it writing? Is it picking up paper? Is it grabbing a trash can and throwing it in the back of a truck? Is it sitting behind a desk? Is it talking? Is it listening? Is it loving? Whatever that may be, do that to the utmost potential because that is your gift. Whatever you can do, like freely, that is what you should be focusing on. That should be your primary focus, your priority on a daily basis so that you can self-fulfill your life, your well-being because you deserve more. Like I'm not like I know I went off track, which I always do anyway, but we need to focus more on ourselves and our decisions than worrying about other people's decisions on what they do. Because the one thing that I've noticed about my life is that there were so many things that I've said, and I was very like strong-minded of what my beliefs were towards a specific thing, that a lot of people ignored me. They pushed me away, or they didn't even care to listen. But today, I actually notice all these people doing exactly what I used to tell them before. But you know what? It's not like me pointing fingers at who it is. I would never do that. But in the back of my head, I'm like, wow, I was discounted at one point, and now they're actually doing it. And in the back of my head, I know what I said, and I know what I've done, and I know how many people I've empowered along the way. So the reason I'm delivering this message is because a lot of you right now are doing things that makes you unhappy instead of doing the things that make you happy. Get out of being comfortable. Get out of that. You need to actually get comfortable with being uncomfortable with whatever makes you happy, fulfilled. Because that's what's going to take you to that next journey. Do you want to be a millionaire? Do you want to have everything you want in life? Then actually go do it. Go do the actions that you need to take to get these things. You want to be successful? Take action. You know what? Like the difference with me is like I'm a baseball guy. I grew up being a baseball guy. I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old. My parents had to sign a waiver for me to actually play. But you know what it is? Like when I signed that when my parents signed that waiver, it's all about me. My parents had to watch me do whatever I do. But you know what? What waiver have you signed so that you can be free to do whatever you want in life? Like when my parents signed that, that means I can play. I can play something that I love, that I'm passionate about. And I played it almost like, what, almost 30 years of my life. And I played it because I loved it. But the problem is that we allow other people to tell us what we love and don't love, what we should do and not do. And that's something that has set us back. Guys, your family are your worst enemies sometimes when it comes to actually giving you advice. Your family should support you no matter what decision you decide. Because if it feels right to you, you should go for it. It is your strength, not your parents' strength. It is your strength. Just because they raised you doesn't mean you're going to have the same DNA when it comes to action. Everybody's DNA is different. Like, I don't want to be different. Like, I don't want to be perfect. I want to be different. I'm not going to be like my family. I'm not going to be like anybody else. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just want to be me. I want to make a voice for me. And so do you. Too many of you have an opinion, but are not doing anything about it. What are you going to do with the opinion that you knock others of not doing? Are you doing what you're telling others to do? Are you actually taking action in whatever opinion you have? Like in the past 2 days, your opinion is like going through the walls, going through the roof about the presidential debate. But did you vote? Did you do the things? Did you take action? You can't control the next person's decision, guys. You can only control yours. But it already happened. Your animosity, your anger, your hate isn't going to change the outcome of the decision. You have to change to the new world order, the new way of living, because you can make a difference. If you want to see change in the world, then you be that change. Whatever opinion you have, turn it into an action. And when you turn that change into an action, people will actually start listening to you. But if you're just going to go off opinions and opinions and opinions and actually take an action in it, you're not going to be heard the way you want to be heard, the way you expect to be heard. So I feel like this is a very powerful message for you to understand that you control your life. You matter. You have a fight inside of you. You're not perfect, so stop trying to be perfect. If you're trying to be perfect in an imperfect world, you already failed. If you're trying to pick fights with people, you already failed. If you're arguing about people's beliefs, you failed. If you're judging others, you failed. All that energy that you're giving other people, imagine if you give that energy to yourself. Imagine how far you can actually make it in life. But you know what it is? You guys are so focused on what other people are doing that you forget about what you should be doing. You should be focusing on yourself. Forget what other people think. Forget what other people say. Focus on yourself. Stay true to yourself. I'm not perfect. I'm extremely different. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be different. Like, I don't care if you listen to my messages. I don't care if you believe in what I say. It is my opinion and I'm acting on it. If you have your own opinion, then act on it on your end. Like, everything in life doesn't have to be a freaking debate. It could be a conversation. There's ways to actually get your message across without demeaning someone else. Ask questions. I think that's the problem with society. We don't ask enough questions. And if you stop asking questions, what answers are you expecting? You're not going to get answers without asking questions. You want to live off assumptions? If you're going to go out there and live off assumptions, you got something for you, because you know what the definition of assumption is. Well, assume. You make an ass out of you and me. But you don't want to do that. You need to focus on what makes you better. I need to focus on what makes me better. I know what I'm capable of. Do you know what you're capable of? I didn't get to the person I am today by just sitting on the couch and just chilling back and doing nothing. I read, I listen, I watch. Things that make me better. Not things that'll bring me back down to who I was. I want to be better than who I was. And in order for me to do that, I need to do something different. And you got to change a lot of things in order for you to do those things. You got to sacrifice a lot of things in order for you to do those things. The body that I have, the mind that I have, the vocality that I have, if that's even a freaking word, but it sounds good. It was all built on effort, on consistency, on strength, knowing that I was better than who I used to be. But in order to be who you want to be, you have to fight for it. You have to believe in that. Like I have a quote here that I think that a lot of you should write down. God has the bucket of every drop of tear that will eventually be used to shower you with blessings. Some of you had a rough childhood and you think that you're not good enough anymore. But God is blessing you with something that you're missing because you have a wall up. You're closed-minded. You don't want new things in your life because you're scared of what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You're assuming what's going to happen. You can't assume what's going to happen until it happens. Then if you want to go out there and say, I told you so, then if that makes you happy, then do it. I wouldn't suggest it. What I would suggest is that if you want to be the I told you so's, then why don't you go out and do it and show them why you said what you said. Why you agreed on what you said. Or why you felt that belief was so strong inside your heart. Why don't you do that? And listen, guys, I'm speaking to myself here. I'm not speaking to only you. I'm speaking to myself. I need to take action in my life so I can get the fruits of my labor. Like, you don't think I want more? We all want more. But what do you have to do to get more? You have to be more. You have to be more within yourself to actually get these things, to receive it. You're not receiving anything, just chilling and doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Too many of you always go back to what once worked. And it probably worked for like a month or two. And guess what? Are you doing the same thing now? No. So that means that whatever you did didn't build enough consistency inside of you to stick with it. It got you uncomfortable at a certain point. So instead of going back to the original thing that didn't get you anywhere, it's time that today you do something that's going to get you somewhere. And actually stick to that thing. Whatever it may be. It could be your job. It could be your relationship. It could be your family. It could be your fitness. It could be your nutrition. Whatever. But don't stop doing what you've done in the past. Because obviously, it didn't work. And if it did work, you should have been still doing it. Don't blame society for your decisions. Don't blame society for your actions. That's on you. It's your fault. It's my fault that I'm not as successful as I should be. I should be way more successful than I am today. But that's my fault. What are you willing to do for you? What are you willing to fight for? Is there anything to fight for within yourself? Or you're still dwelling on whatever happened yesterday or a week ago or a month ago or 10 years ago? Can you change that? Yeah. You can change the outcome. You can't change what happened. If you want to make whatever happened 10 years ago, if you want to change that, be that change. You can change the outcome of that decision. But you have to do it. You have to work for it. Like if you're making a decision because is more economical for you, if you're making a decision because it's easier for you, you're playing yourself. You're truly playing yourself. Because if you think that taking the easy route is going to get you to where you need to be, you're going to go right back to where you were. Stop settling for what you want and start fighting for what you want. Because, guys, nothing that matters comes easy. Nothing. You're not perfect. You are not perfect. Neither am I, and neither is the President of the United States. But we hold the key to our future. Nobody else does. Because our temple has a door. If you want to unlock it and leave anything come in, that's up to you. It is in your heart and in your mind, and it's your decision to allow all these things to come into your life. What are you willing to do with that? What are you willing to fight for? Who are you opening the gates to? Think about that. So if right now you're in a situation that you're stuck, you don't know what else to do. You're in a situation that you thought it was a good decision, but it ended up not being one. You're in position that you thought you was in a position to succeed and you failed. Are you going to just sit there and cry about it? Are you going to sit there and dwell about it? Or are you going to actually sit there and think about it and what you should be doing now? Because when you fail, guys, it's a lesson learned. Pick yourself up, write down what you failed at, and go after something different in the same world of what you were seeking the first time. Guys, there's many different ways to succeed at one thing. Because if you ever witness anybody do what you're going after, that means you're capable of doing it. You're capable of doing it. But what work ethics are you willing to do to get it? What sacrifices are you willing to do to have it? We all have our strengths. We all have our strengths. But are you using them? Or do you think that because that person doesn't have that, because that person doesn't have what you're talking about, it's not right? You are right. And you do matter. Your strength matters. What you do with it, it's up to you. Plain and simple. I know I went off. Like one of the things that I love about when I speak is that I go with my passion. And I don't care if I'm right. I don't care if I'm wrong. I just care about the message that I'm delivering. And if somebody receives it, I did my part. And that is what you should do too. God bless you. If you feel that this message is strong enough for you to receive, share it with someone. Share it with someone and tell them that, listen, you're not perfect and that's okay. You're just different. Embrace it. Love it. Live it. Find your strength and go after whatever that is. And I promise you, you'll be the happiest person in the world. Build positivity. Create positivity. Love faith. Because that's all we have. Faith is seeing the unseen. So if you don't even see what you want yet, just have faith that it will come. God bless you all. And always remember, never forget to have faith, not fear. Whoop whoop! Peace out. Heal your spirit. Build your body.